Senator Munson.
Thank you for being here. In my reporter days in China back in the late 80s, early 90s, you talked about the marketing processes, and when this country was going through the throes of not allowing smoking in restaurants in China, they were advertising new cigarettes called longevity. I did a story on that. Longevity cigarettes. Everyone does it. I didn't have that part, but I just thinking about that. I had a line in one of the stories where I said, in Canada, it's illegal not to smoke in restaurants. In China, why wait? So it was quite a sight to see. It still is. But on your chat about the $37 billion and the stock exchanges, and there seems to be a lot of conversation about the fact that companies and lots of people are going to get rich, and lots of people who are associated with governments and police forces are now stockholders and so on. But I don't hear very much about governments and their new tax base and what they're going to, and governments, I think, feel that they're going to get rich based on what's coming forward, no matter if it's in 1 year, 6 months, or whatever. So what would your view be on using that extra money that the government is going to earn on the cannabis, sales of cannabis, and perhaps should it be directed and used for health and education programs? I know it's a catch-22 of some sort, but I haven't heard very much in terms of witnesses about that issue.
Sure. If I can be rude and grab this one, because it's a favorite topic of mine. Governments are a problem, and we can use Ontario as an example. We had the Liquor Control Board, which was supposed to reduce alcohol use. They are now opening ever more stores, self-service discounts, air miles. It's a monopoly that gives air miles. The government's making, I think it's $3 billion a year off alcohol in Ontario, and putting virtually none of that into treatment programs. They are not giving people adequate information. Having been involved in suing tobacco companies over the way they've behaved, I think the Ontario government on issues like alcohol, on lotteries, on casinos, and indeed on cigarettes now, trying to do things that prevent people from moving to alternatives, are a problem. So we have to recognize governments can become addicted to the revenue. There's inertia. I am very concerned about what's going to happen when we have governments like Ontario saying they want to run the retail business. I think they should be held to account. And I think when governments are doing things that are taking money from among the most disadvantaged people in our society, there is an ethical obligation on them to put that money back. So I'd say yes, there needs to be some way to hold them to account, to say if you're taking money from people who are addicted, and I highly recommend reading Addiction by Design about video lottery terminals and keeping in mind who runs those things. If you're addicting people, you're taking money from them, and you're taking money from people who are disadvantaged, low income, have various, in many cases, psychiatric conditions. That's not general revenue. You need to find a way to give that back, and I think we should indeed be paying far more attention to that and where the money goes. This isn't a cash cow. This, again, as I've emphasized, this should be a public health approach. What are we doing to make a better society? And we're not doing it to date with the measures we're using.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we're running out of time. We've got any quick comment from either of Ms. Tilson or Ms. Beck?
Just that we wholeheartedly agree that a key element of the public health approach is ensuring adequate public information, adequate monitoring and research, and there will be enough money in the system because of the newfound source of revenue when this product becomes legal, and it's incumbent upon government to at least direct some of that money, a proportion of the new revenue, to public education.